All right, we're live. I think that went quicker and better than the last time.
Woohoo!
If we're actually live, so hopefully, welcome everybody. If you're joining us, this was kind of a impromptu. Well, it wasn't impromptu, but Joe sent us the samples, and we all had a free minute, so we wanted to get this pick rolling, so we can possibly get it in another barrel, double oak it, and get this bottled in our first private labeling, which is pretty cool. So, Brian, Josh, Kim, how you guys doing?
Doing
Great.
well.
Good to see y'all.
Yeah, I see people hopping on now, so that's good. Let us know if you can hear us and if everything looks okay. All right, I see comments and everything. What's up, Liz? What's up, Terry? All right. All right. So if you guys don't know, if you haven't heard, Joe got these 11-year, 8-month-old Beam distillate that was maybe supposed to be Little Book at one time or something. So um, we're gonna taste through these. We got 5 samples tonight, 5 barrels. And how do you guys want to do this? Just start lowest number and work our way over.
Let's do it.
Yeah, I think so. I'm looking forward to this. It's always
Yeah.
fun. It's always fun when you do this where we're tasting 5 different things, but then we're also going to be double oaking it. There's the man right there.
What's up, Joe?
Hey
Hey,
guys,
Joe.
got some steaks on the grill.
Hey, there you go.
There you go. Everything's smelling like smoke.
All right, so how far into it are you guys?
We like just started. So if you want to, I think I kind of told everybody about the barrels, but if you want to add anything, go for it, man.
Yeah. So these are kind of unique barrels. So they are the Booker's Mash Bill from Jim Beam. They were distilled just like Booker's are distilled, so not above 160 like a light whiskey. They were distilled like normal, but they were put into second use Jim Beam bourbon barrels. Barrels were originally intended for the Little Book program, and then they had extra whatever, put them on the market. So it's Booker's Mash Bill. They are 11 months or 11 years, 10 months old right now. They'll turn 12 in August. So Booker's Mash Bill, second use barrel, almost 12 years old.
Nice. You guys want to just? I mean, we trust each other enough. Like, I don't know if we need to go silent on each one and taste them. You want to just go through our tasting notes on each one and
Yeah, I think so. It'll be better watching for everyone else too. And Joe, I know we're going to be double barreling this. What do you know anything about the barrel you're intending to use?
I had a couple ideas. I've got a couple new ones in that are. I don't think I want to put double oak it in a new barrel. We might do some staves, but the new barrels we have in, I think in the time frame 2 to 3 months we're talking about, might make them a little too much of that smoked barbecue note. These are pretty sweet, I thought. So I think I've got another barrel, couple of barrels that were only like 4-year-old barrels. So there's still a lot of life left in the wood that I think they'll take on some extra complexity pretty well with. And then also we've got some staves coming in from Inner Stave, heavy vanilla toast stave and heavy mocha toast stave. So Jason and I back at Adventure Spirits are experimenting with a couple samples of what those are doing, and I might recommend one of those as well.
Awesome. I will say, I just on the nose, the first one smells awesome to me. It
yeah.
like them being second fill barrels from the get go for almost 12 years now. Like that's you don't really know what to expect going into that because you never really get to taste, like smell or taste that on the market in American
Right.
whiskey. So I didn't know what to expect. I expected the Jim Beam profile, but to your point, this is like sweet, like Jim Beam sweet goodness in the best way possible.
Yeah.
They're sweet. I mean, I've tasted 2 of them and they're sweet, which is awesome.
Yeah. So, and I kind of felt they were sweet. I like the bean profile to begin with, but I wanted a little more complexity with them, which is why I think we should double oak them. But they are coming off to me, very classic Booker's, but like the sweeter Booker's that you've had.
Yeah, I'm getting that on this first one. It's almost like, man, there's like a little bit of like an orange push pop note in there for me. It's
Oh,
it's
okay.
Oh yeah, for
woven
sure.
in,
Was
it's woven
that
into
on a 151 or 157? What barrel number is that?
154.
154.
Oh, 154. Okay.
yeah. It's almost like it's you take the Jim Beam profile, all the sweetness is there. It definitely is very sweet, like honey sweet, and then there's like it's just like there's an orange push pop. I really like that.
There's a little bit of a floral element to it as well, and then just that, and I've tasted 3 so far, and it's the same. I'm getting the same note on all 3, which is that kind of Heaven Hill earthiness. Not mildew, but it's got that earthy note to it that kind of shows you it's got some age to it. And I'm getting that on the first 3. I haven't had the other 2, but
Interesting. Now that you say floral, I'm tying that in with that honey note I'm having, and it's like honeysuckle, straight up.
Well, I'm going to let you guys continue tasting through. I'm going to finish up grilling these steaks for everybody here for the Driftless Glen barrel pick that we're at. And I'm going to catch back up with you later in the live, all right?
All right, sounds
Sounds
great,
good,
brother.
man.
All right.
Thanks,
Cheers.
Joe.
Cheers.
It's interesting, Josh, that you say orange push pop, because when I went back to 1 after 2, and on the nose, I was getting like that apricot candy, like the chewy dried apricot that I did not get the first time through.
Interesting. I can kind of get that note too on the nose now that you mention it. So I will say I've only tried the first one. I didn't really know what to expect out of the second fill barrel, but like I'm getting all that sweetness. There is some nice spice in there too, though.
Yeah. Yeah, there's definitely some good spice to it. These do all have that that earthy note to it. So I think the quicker we get it out of the barrel it's in, the better. Like it needs to get out of that barrel it's in.
Yeah, I agree.
Man,
It's not off-putting. Like I did a 3-4 years ago, Brian with Hard Truth took me back in their lab, and he's like, "Hey, you want to taste some faulty barrels?" And I was like, "Hell yeah, I do." So we started tasting through some faulty barrels, and this note, if you let that go too far, can turn really, really bad. It's not bad. I actually love it where it is because it reminds me a lot of some Heaven Hill profiles I get. Like I get that note kind of sometimes on Larceny, but it's definitely a note if you leave too long can go bad. Right where it is, I think it's beautiful. It's got that honey, peanuts, floral sweetness going on, that orange pop thing. These all taste very similar, though, I think.
I'm not getting a
Although
lot of the nut profile on these.
Really?
I'm getting the. Go ahead,
Get it
Kim.
as much on 1 either, Brian, but I've gotten it on 2 and 3 a little more.
yeah, two to me. So I'm getting the note that you're talking about, Lance. The way I read it is like almost like if you've been in a rick house that has a dirt floor,
Mm-hmm.
like an older rick house.
Yeah.
I kind of read it like that note.
Yeah, I could totally see that.
Yeah, and
Dusty, Rick House. No, yeah.
yeah, it's kind of like a weird old wood plus dirt floor type of
Mm-hmm.
thing.
Which I love at the level it's at, but
It's a note that I really like. I do know for a fact that some people don't like that note because I get that note specifically in 2023 GTS. I'm not saying that's what this tastes like, but it has that old wood rick house dirt floor thing in it, and some people criticize that release for that note. But it's something that when I taste it, like I've blinded it against a bunch of different things, and it always comes in really high for me because I really like that. But you are right. You can go too far with that thing, but man, yeah, I'm digging these more than I thought I would, to be honest with you guys.
I am too, man. Because when I opened them, I was like, they're a little light, but man, these are delicious. These are really, really good.
So to give people in chat something to follow along with, first barrel, like we said, glass one, very sweet, very like honeysuckle. You get a little bit of that Jim Beaminess, but you get this fruitiness as well. From there into the second glass has a fair bit more punch. It's a darker profile, and it's almost like I think the Jim Beam nuttiness shows up in a way, in a very pleasant way, but experience wise, it's a little more gripping. My concern would be it's already dark enough as it is to me, and adding in any kind of like staves or double oaking is going to make it like push the wood and the nuttiness even further down the like it's going to emphasize that even more. So I like two by itself as is, but I would be hesitant to double oak or augment this too much, because I think it'll just make it more of what it is, and that will be over the top.
Yeah, Josh, I agree. 2 was a little bit drying to me as well. And I feel like a double oak on that will just make it drier.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I like 1 more than 2. Boy, the noses on these things are great.
It's insane.
Yeah.
I am really surprised how, like, even like 4 and 5. I mean, there's even a little bit of another level to it.
Yeah, I smelled through them all, and on the nose, 4 was my favorite, but
Yeah, me too.
I'm going back. I haven't got to the palate yet. I'm on the palate of glass number 3 right now.
Mm.
There's something on the nose of glass number 3 that I cannot identify, but it smells really good. It smells like something like chocolate based.
Yeah.
I can't quite put my finger on what it is.
The noses almost give me like an Evernorth vibe on some of these too, which is kind of interesting.
Dude, if I were blind, I really like what you said, Lance, about these feeling more Heaven Hilly than they are Beam. And
Yeah.
that's great for me because I prefer Heaven Hill to Beam almost always.
Yeah, if I tasted these blind, I would 1,000% guess this was Heaven Hill.
Yeah.
But I do get a little bit of nuttiness in Heaven Hill, just not to the extent of Beam. When Joe sent these and said they were peanut forward, I'm pleasantly surprised they're not as peanut forward as I thought they were going to be.
Yeah, like 2 and 3. I've had good Elijah Craig barrel proof picks that taste like 2 and 3.
Yeah.
What are you guys thinking about?
I really like number 4.
Mm-hmm.
4, I keep going back to 4.
4 stands out.
4
It
does
sure
stand
does.
out. It does.
It did on the nose. What'd you guys have on glass 3?
3 for me was a little spicier than the first 2, and the finish was great.
Yeah, I was getting that chocolatey thing on the nose, but then it got on the palate, and it's went a different direction for me. The finish does stick around quite a
It
while.
lingers.
hmm
I think I'm between 1, 4, and 5.
I haven't
I've
got
not tried
5
5
yet.
2 would be out for me. I would push 2 out.
Me too.
Man, the nose on 4 smells so good.
The nose on 4 is like,
4's ridiculous, yeah.
it's got this
Yeah.
like level of vanilla or something
Yeah.
on the nose to it
Yeah.
that's so nice.
Yeah, it's vanilla bordering on vanilla bean. It's like
Yeah.
I've never said this note before, I feel incredibly pretentious saying it, but I feel like a Madagascar vanilla.
Oh, it's like vanilla ice cream.
Yeah.
There's a creaminess to it, or man,
Yeah.
the nose on 4 is killer.
Yeah, like, so we did, every summer we go up to Erin's family's house and we do this thing for all the kids. She's one of 9 siblings, and like almost all her siblings have kids, and we get together. And last summer we did this game with the kids that we thought would be fun, where we blindfolded them and then we had them smell things. And one of the things we had them smell was like we took a diaper and put something in it that smelled weird. I don't remember what it was, but and then they like take the blindfold off after they guess and they see the diaper there and they're like, "Oh, what?" But if we but we did stuff like peanut butter and oranges and things like that. If I were playing that game and I was blindfolded and I didn't know I was smelling whiskey, and you put glass 4 under my nose and I didn't know it was a glass, I had no clue, no context what I was smelling, I would say that I'm smelling a bowl of vanilla ice cream.
Yeah, it smells like vanilla ice cream. It's crazy.
All right. So I overheard you guys already saying some of the barrels you like, some you don't like. What are you looking at?
Well, I think one was great. I think we've eliminated maybe 2 and 3, and we're tasting 4 and 5. But we're all really
Okay.
loving the nose on 4. I love the palate on 4.
And what is the?
Oh,
I
164
don't remember what's
for
the
4.
Yeah, we're going in numerical order.
54. Okay.
Yeah,
It tastes very balanced too. It's Joe, we were saying these taste more like Heaven Hill than Beam to us. It's crazy.
Oh yeah. Well, I got the transfer and bond paperwork. It's definitely Beam.
No, I believe you. I believe you. It just
Maybe it's because of the second use barrel versus that there's going into a new barrel.
yeah.
Man, the experience of 4 is
Amazing.
It's good.
4 is like, do we even need to do anything to 4?
Yeah, I know. I'm almost there with you, Josh.
Like, I think a very light touch of double oaking just to give it bring out the woodiness, because it really is like playing all into the sweet, but it's got the soak into your tongue and gums thing going on. It's got the long finish. 4's got that.
I had to figure.
4 has
figured
an
you were
it
gonna like that one.
Yeah, that's got an it factor on it right there.
5's really good too for me though. If 5 is a sweet monster, man. But it tastes a little hotter than 4. I don't know.
I don't think it's as balanced as 4 though.
I agree. I agree. It has more of those like little book vibes to me.
Yeah.
Than 4 does.
And what's the barrel number on 5?
167.
167. Okay. Yep.
Yeah, when I go back to 1 after 4 and 5, I think that's out for me. I think it's.
I'm about to do the exact same thing. Yeah, 5 is really good. It doesn't quite have the it factor that 4 has to me.
Yeah.
It doesn't. It feels like it is sweet, and it is almost like I don't know, like a dark honey or something that's going on in there. But it also has a little. It's not as intense as 2. 2 was really intensely woody. That's 159, Joe. But 5 has a slight element of that I wonder if it wouldn't get pronounced on, when you start augmenting the flavor.
Going back to 1 after 4 and 5 is a bit of a letdown.
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
Yeah.
Noted. So we had a restaurant that picked a barrel because we started with 7, and then the Whiskey Society picked one, and I heard the same thing from both groups, that when everybody off the rip loved that first one, and then when they went back to it, they're like, "Oh, what happened?"
That's funny.
But of the lineup you have, I will tell you 1, 4, and 5 were the favorites out of all the groups for what you had. So it's not surprising that you're saying about 2 and 3.
Yeah,
the thing is,
has that. There's something to it, man. It's just I could smell that all day.
Joe, do you have the proofs on these? Have you proofed them?
Yeah, they're all. I don't have the list with me of the specific barrels, but the lowest barrel I believe was 123, and the highest was like 125.6. So they're all
Oh, they're
within
very close.
Oh,
3
yeah.
proof,
Well, if they're that close,
and they don't drink that.
yeah,
No.
no. But
Mm.
five, our fifth barrel tastes hotter to me than 4.
Hmm.
But
So I revisited one.
Yeah,
I
there
would
wasn't.
agree. One is out for me.
Yeah.
man, that vanilla on number 4 is just getting me though. That
Four's
is,
just special.
4 is
Yeah.
good. I'll be honest, Joe. I did not expect it to taste that good after looking at these whiskeys, but it's good.
I know. I told you.
I
Just
know.
wait till you try them.
You
I'm
know,
with Josh. I don't. I'm nervous to double oak it.
four
Well, we
four is
don't. We can just leave it and just
So
let it hit.
So Joe,
12.
what I was telling them, and you're the expert, so you tell me. But I was on Brian Smith with Hard Truth took me into their lab, and we tasted faulty barrels. And one of the notes was that like mildewy note that you can get, and I don't know what cut that happens in, but if it goes to if it's just a hint of it, I love it because it kind of tastes like Josh said, like a rick house. He kind of reminds you of that. It's really nice, but it can go too far, and I don't like it. And I think that note is in there a little in all of these, but it's really nice right now. And I would want to like get this out of the barrel quick. I wouldn't want it to.
Just get it and dump.
I wouldn't want it to get any worse. You know what I mean?
So that's the great thing about doing this ourselves in a private label. We can do whatever we want with it.
Man, it's really good though. God, it's delicious.
man, that's crazy. Like, so the thing is, like, I kind of actually love seeing stuff
11.
Like,
It would
Oh,
be
go
nice to hit the magic 12 year, but I mean, 11 years, 10 months is pretty good too.
yeah, man,
What were you gonna say, Josh?
that so. I actually forgot what I was going to say.
We were talking about getting it out of the barrel or doing something with it. What we're gonna do with it?
Yeah, I got a lot of thoughts running through my head right now. Um, I wouldn't. So Joe, I remember when I was up there back in March. You had some of the like we tried different things like the stuff you were getting from Independent Stave, and like I don't know what direction we would want to go with that. Do you have like a in your experience that you've tried as far as like adding stuff and different finishing techniques and whatnot? Do you
I,
tend to you try to like augment the flavor and like offset what's good? Like it's already strong in this regard. Do I try to fill in some gaps with other stuff, or it's already strong in this regard? Do we try to play those notes up?
I would try. I normally try to compliment. So where a lot of these were very sweet, very peanut buttery to me. Some of them a little bit of uh, one dimensional. I would try to complement that and add some dimension. So like doing a mocha toasted stave to try and pull out some chocolatey notes or something like that is probably what I would do if we were going to do anything.
Be down with that. I'm on this. I'm getting like tons of vanilla, a little bit of nuttiness, but not very much. A little bit of floralness and a little bit of those earthy notes. But so I think there's honestly more complexity than I thought there was going to be. It's really nice, man. Um,
It's a really good barrel.
yeah, yeah, it is.
Yeah. What's crazy is that you never know how barrel picks are going to go, right? You go into them and you're like, oh, hey, we're going to taste 3, 4, 5, 6 barrel, however, whatever we're going to do. And like sometimes it might as well be pulling teeth because, you know, so many barrels are like, all these are good, but sometimes you do a pick and one barrel just presents itself as a standout, and you're like, all right, made my job real easy tonight.
Yeah, there you go, Mike.
That's a great idea.
You go ahead. You get me.
You cut out on my end, but I think you said you get us one, Michael. Somebody else asked about.
You get me.
Somebody else asked us about finishing it in a sherry barrel.
Terry did, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's got some of those notes. I think it would complement it, but I don't know if I want to do that or not. I don't know.
Dude, so here's what's crazy. I warmed up with our Knob Creek pick, the Warehouse K pick that we did. Man, tasting that and then tasting Barrel 4, they are different for sure, but there is a connection there, which is to be expected, kind of, the fact that they're both Jim Beam. But there is a special factor on the Knob Creek picks that we did for Barrels for Hope, and then there's also a special kind of it factor on barrel number 4 as well. And this is higher proof than the Knob Creek pick, and this drinks easier. Like it still has all those special elements, but it drinks like it's 100. If it's 123 to 125 proof, it drinks like 113, and it drinks like there's like this beautiful honey kind of a little bit of like a honey peanut butter type of thing going on in there, but there's also just a lot of like
That's what I was.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I off that one. I think that one is great how it is. I just thought we might want to try and get it to 12 years, if that's important to us or not.
I mean, the most important thing to me is the taste. I could care less about the 12 years. It'd be nice on the label, but I don't really care. But you're there. The great thing is we know we have somebody there that we trust that can taste this thing often and dump it whenever you think we need to, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I'll have all these barrels. I should have all these barrels in house, if not end of next week, mid following week.
I mean, do we need to debate? It sounds like 4 is it.
Yeah, I mean, 164. There it is, y'all.
164. Okay,
Yeah.
There you go. We got it.
Like that's a crusher of a barrel right there. That's a monster, dude. That's so.
You're gonna love that.
I actually think, and this is something I probably would never have said prior to the experience I had at Lux Row, but last summer I was up at Lux Row as part of like a Shareport Partners thing on the Stuff and Whiskey side, and we tasted a bunch of different finished stuff. Like we picked a Rebel and an Ezra 120 proofers, but then we also picked stave finished 110 proof versions of both of those as well. And they have similarly, they use like independent stave. They have all the like, you know, the creme brulee stave and the mocha, whatever, you know, they name them different things for different people. I don't know if they have different processes or not, but what we noticed was like the wheated bourbon took really well to a certain stave type, but then the rye-based bourbon specifically interacted really, really well with like a mocha stave or mocha cubes or something like that. It did not amplify the nuttiness of what Ezra Brooks can typically be. And obviously, like, we're not just tasting one barrel. We tasted 5 barrels just like this, and we saw what that mocha stave did over and over again. And it, from the 120 proofers with no finishing versus the 110 with all the different staves, that mocha stave really did add a lot to the equation. That's why I kind of wanted to pick Joe's brain about that a little bit, because once you put the cubes in, I mean, you can take them out, but they're in there, you know? So you're going to start getting influence right away, and you have to be a little bit tactical about how you do it. And I think what it could do is I think it could just take what this is and round out the flavor profile, make it even more complex. with a short finishing time, to Lance's point, this is why it's so great that, we got boots on the ground with Joe. It's not like Makers is doing a Makers private selection and they just put the staves in there for 90 days and it ends up how it ends up. Like this is, Joe can taste it all along the way and pull it whenever it's, where we want it to be.
That's a great reference point, Josh, that you were able to do that. Because obviously with Makers being weeded and they use a lot of mocha staves, it's good. But if you think it's even better with a rye-based bourbon and something like Ezra Brooks that's kind of similar to this in that peanut forwardness, and shoot, mocha and vanilla go great together. So, I don't know how you go wrong with that.
Yeah. Dude, I'm smelling 4 right now, and
I can't stop smelling it.
that vanilla note, like just the vanilla honey peanut butter type thing. You just add a little bit of chocolate into that equation.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I'm digging that.
I got my last little bit here.
I got this little bit.
Here's, and I haven't tasted enough things to know as far as finishing goes, but if you start out with something that's doing the things that this is doing, like the soaking into your palate, that it factor type thing, that when you finish things, that doesn't tend to go away. You're augmenting the flavor profile, but if that exists in the barrel already, I haven't noticed that disappears. So, you can amplify a barrel. Like we could take one and you could finish it and round out the profile and make it more complex, but it doesn't have the it factor that 4 has. And if it doesn't have that, it's probably never going to have that. Like maybe you could finish it enough at some point to get it to that point. Maybe something magical happens in the process. But if it already exists pre-finishing, all you're going to be doing is just adding more to the equation.
Yeah. Yeah, Mike asked about blending a few of the samples. Honestly, I don't think we need to blend the samples, man. 4 is so nice. But I don't think we need to blend the samples. I think.
I'll throw some 5 in 1 and see if I can amp 1 up a little bit. But
I'm out of 4, so I can't do 4.
Yeah, 4's gone. 4 is so good.
I just did 2 and 5, and it's pretty good. But
like two parts 5 and 1 part 1 is pretty good. It's not 4 though. Man.
Yeah, it's not 4.
It's not 4. That's so good. 4 is so good. Man, that's so cool too that we get to put our label on the bottle.
It's the coolest, man.
Our thing.
It's the coolest.
And it's cool too because like it's not just what am I trying to say here? It's not if you source something from somewhere, and then there are ways to change things, like age it for a while somewhere else or do this or that or the other. Like show me where you can go out and get 11, 12-year-old whiskey, like bourbon-based profile, bourbon-based distillate that's been aged in a used barrel. They do this sort of stuff in international whiskey all the time. International whiskey at 10 to 12 years old is freaking awesome, and a lot of times they use ex-bourbon barrels to make that stuff what it is. And Found North has actually talked about this a little bit. What you're getting with something like this is like there's no replacement for oxidation over time. So could you get a bourbon that at 6 years tastes like this at dang near 12 years? Kind of. Like you can get some of the same notes and things like that, but as the whiskey sits in the barrel for longer and longer and longer, there is a maturation process that happens. It's almost like the difference in like cooking something, like microwaving something versus like slow smoking something, Like you can't replace, I'm thinking we probably have a lot of guys at barbecue. You can cook a brisket or a pork butt pretty fast if you want to, but if you cook it low and slow, you're going to break down that intermuscular tissue and it's going to render out better.
Mhm.
Whiskey's kind of the same way. Like, that's why age is such a beautiful thing on whiskey. It kind of breaks the whiskey down, and there's a uniquely different sipping experience at this age versus like, a 6-year single barrel from somewhere. Much less the fact that it's like, if this were a new oak barrel that it went into, this would be super heavy handed. But the fact that it's a used barrel, that it's been aging in the entire time, and then it gets all that oxidation over time with the air, and man, I'm really had no clue. Veronica just said it. Time is an ingredient. That's
Dude, I was honestly scared to taste these, if we're being 100% honest, because I was like, man, I don't want to shit all over this thing. But from what I opened up, this looked like it. I was like, I don't know, man. I'm so shocked it's as good as it is. Because one thing I have a hard time doing is lying. I just can't. I can't do it, man. If I don't like a whiskey, so I am shocked that this thing is. I'm in love as much as I am. It's got this creaminess to it that you get with a lot of aged bourbons, but without the heavy-handed oak when you get to that age. You know what I mean? The viscosity and oiliness and texture is there without the extra woodiness. There is some woodiness there, but it's not overhanded like you get in a Knob Creek 12 or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's such a good point, because that's exactly like this recipe right here is the international whiskey recipe. This is like what Scotch does all the time, and that's exactly what happens with it. Like, you get this woodiness in there, but it's a component of the profile that lets the other things shine, and it kind of anchors it rather than being the star of the show. So especially if you're watching this and you're like, man, sometimes I taste some stuff that's like double-digit age bourbon, and it's a little like dry and tannic for me, a little too woody. This doesn't have any of that.
No. I mean, the biggest note that sticks in my head when I'm drinking it is vanilla ice cream. It's like, it is such a vanilla ice cream bomb. I love it, man. It's good.
I will say, I think adding the mocha to this will be a really good move.
I think so too.
I'm going back to our Knob Creek pick, our Warehouse K pick, and to your point, Lance, that it accentuates the woodiness on that. So like, these are two, when this barrel comes out, the bottle gets to you guys. This is a great side by side to see like the different interactions of what new, because this is, I think, 10 years old.
Close, but was that the one on the 6th floor or the 5th?
This is the 5th floor. It's 10 years, 1 month old. At least that. So it's like seeing the new barrel influence versus a used barrel influence is from like a whiskey nerd standpoint, I'm geeking
Cool.
out right now.
Yeah, that's super cool. Super.
Yeah,
super
I'm
cool.
actually to Lance's just to back Lance up here a little bit. When we started this, Lance is like, these colors are really light, and the used barrel, that's why. The second fill barrel, but I was like, I'm gonna warm up with our Knob Creek pick, because like I wanted these to be to that level, and when like tasting them side by side, the fact that this one does measure up, like that's fun for me.
That's super cool, man. Super cool. God, it's so good.
Yeah,
I'm impressed. When we started, Kim was like, "Don't judge it by its color," and I was like, okay,
Aaron has to tell me that all the time.
yeah.
Don't judge a book by its cover or a whiskey by its color.
It's so hard after you've been in bourbon for so long not to judge a whiskey by its color, man. But no, she's right. This is good. This is really good, man. I think you guys are going to be super excited. I think Josh, I love having the context of you doing that stave finishing at Ezra. Josh, that's awesome, man.
Yeah, I had no clue it was going to come in handy past that singular experience, but here we are. And
yeah, and when you guys went to Makers, I was like, man, every time we've done Makers, if we went heavy on the whatever their mocha stave is. I can't remember what it's called.
I think it's just the Mocha stave, but they discontinued it and then they brought it back in one of the Heart releases or something.
Oh,
Yeah.
But we've always had our best blends when we went heavy on those staves. So yeah, that sounds good, and I trust that Joe, especially if Joe can look at, taste it often, and pull it when he thinks it's ready. That's an extra special touch to our first private label.
It's always a good pick when you finish and you're bummed that you're out of the sample.
I know. The glass smells great, though.
I need more of this right now.
Yeah.
The glass smells so good, man. That's good. Yeah, so I tasted these when you guys were still, like, I think on 1 and 2. I was already to 4. And I got to 4, and I was like, I don't want to show my hand, but good Lord, 4 is good. So I was so curious to see what you guys were going to say.
Get these
Yeah.
last few drops out of 4.
Yeah, I was nosing. I nosed all the way through, and I was just like, oh, smelling 1, smelling 2, smelling 3. I smelled 4, and it stopped me in my tracks.
It did me too.
Yeah.
In fact, it stopped me so much. Like we got on early, so I had coins on most of my stuff. But on glass 4, I had to use a box. And I got the glass 4. I was like, does that smell so good because of the box? Like, why does that smell so good?
This is box smell like.
This box. I got to cover my glasses with boxes from now on.
Yeah.
So funny. All right, man. I think that's it, guys. Unless you guys have anything else to add.
Easy peasy. When you
That
got a
was fun.
standout one like this, it makes picks. It's almost anticlimactic because you're just like, well, one of these is clearly better than everything else.
I think the climatic part was talking through how to finish it, and I'm glad we have the context that we do and the experience that we do on the panel. I mean, that's why we started this. We knew we had good palettes on the board, and so to have all that knowledge is awesome. So,
Yeah.
and of course, to have Joe is unbelievable. So this will be great, man. I'm super excited.
Yeah, for you guys watching, so we'll get to work on this here soon. We're also working on bottle shapes, label designs, all that stuff, because if you missed it anywhere in a previous meeting we announced this, or a previous live stream we announced this, but this will be a private labeled bottle that we're releasing. It will be an American whiskey because of the maturation in the second fill bourbon barrel, but it's going to be a private label for us. Like, this isn't a Knob Creek pick. This isn't a Booker's pick. This is none of that. This is the brand of this pick is Barrels for Hope. So that is amazing. I don't know many organizations that, I know there are organizations that have pulled that off, but you kind of have to have a man on the inside to do this. So all credit to Joe for making this happen, for getting his hands on these barrels in the market and then making them available to us. So it's incredible.
Yeah, and you're right, Bourbon Engineer. I can't believe it. That's next month.
Yeah.
So,
What's today's Sunday?
yeah, today's Sunday. So
I mean,
we're-
under 7 weeks out. So 6 weeks and 5 days. The countdown begins.
So you've still got time to get your tickets.
That's
You've
right.
still got time to book your hotel room. Email Kim at barrelsforhope.com if you have questions. It's going to be an awesome weekend.
Yep. It's going to be fun. All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in tonight on this short notice. I can't wait to get this in your guys' hands. You're going to be very, very happy. So, all right. We love you guys. We'll talk to you on the next live show.